Hey everyone, Corey Leapout with 43 Homes. I am here in a new listing. It is a downtown loft style condo, and I'm here with Chris Robinson from CA Robinson Photographic.
How you doing?
He's taken the professional photos of my space, and I will show you in a little bit why I hire a photographer. I always do photos of a listing because I can't do it with my iPhone. They just don't even begin to compare.
Don't do it.
No. Real quick though, while I had Chris here, I wanted to have him share with you just a few quick tips if you are about to have a listing and have some photos taken, things that you can do in your space to make sure that it's prepared as well as possible for your photographer. So, Chris?
Well, yeah, like Corey said, I'm from CA Robinson Photographic. I shoot a lot of homes during the week and throughout the year, so I think the most important thing for me is to get your space ready is to look and seek out for a stager. Staging a home now is kind of a competitive thing, and I think if you get the jump on that, you're going in the right direction. So stagers are always important. And if you don't want to hire a stager, you can kind of get online and get a gist of how things are decorated, how things are cleaned up. So that's a good Google search, if you will.
I've actually got a video on my website as well of, it's from an interview that I did on Good Morning Columbus.
Okay.
Excuse me, Good Day Columbus. I always say that wrong. And I talk about some of those things. So
okay.
I'll include a link in the comments for that as
well.
Yeah,
so staging's kind of a priority thing. A second thing to prepare for a photographer is I provide a photography checklist on my website at CARobinsonphotographic.com, and it kind of gives you a step-by-step planning thing to get your house to where it needs to be. But children and pets are kind of a priority, I think, as far as animals. When I'm shooting throughout the house, I sometimes notice dog dishes and dog bowls, and I love animals. Animals are great. I love shooting animals, but unfortunately,
with your camera.
With my camera, not with any weapons. No, camera shooting. So yeah, I think priority is to kind of hide those pet bowls, pet food, pet beds, especially. I think we all love animals, but for some reason, if you're marketing your real estate and your property, you might want to hide those for your showings and also for photography as well. Number 3 on the list would be curb appeal. That's the number one selling point. When a prospective buyer pulls up to the property, that's the first thing they see is the front of the home. So you want to have your landscaping, spot on, trash cans put away, any personal items, we don't want cars in the lawn, propped up on jacks, anything like that.
Or even cars on the street.
On the street, absolutely, yeah. For photography, that's always a plus. So you kind of want that first impression to stand out, and you don't want any kind of negative clutter up front of your home for that. So I think that would be my number 3 is curb appeal by far. So
awesome. So here, let me show you a couple before and after photos. So before is what I took with my iPhone, after is what Chris took, and hopefully there'll be some of the similar angles, but here's an example of why I always use a professional photographer.
So here's a photo of the light well atrium in this condo. As you can see, I stood back. This is a photo that I took with my iPhone. I had an inexpensive wide-angle lens attachment on the phone, and as you can see, I captured most of the living room and just a little peek of the side of the kitchen. The lighting's not great, and it's passable at best. Now let's compare that with a shot that Chris took. This is Chris's photo, obviously far superior to mine. He has better equipment, number 1. Number 2, he has real training, which I don't have, but that equipment and training and experience have allowed him to choose a much better place from which to take the photograph and allow him to capture not only that light well and a large part of the living room, but also the kitchen. He also knew how long he should be setting his camera's exposure so that the light really looks much better. The lighting is done well. That is all natural light. It's just his technique in taking the picture. He's also professionally processed the photos when they're done, so they came back looking stunning. Let's look at a couple other examples of photos in that space. I'm not going to tell you which one is which, as it will be very clear which are mine and which are professional photos.
All right, so hopefully now you understand why I feel like it's so important that you take professional photographs of a property when you list it. If you're working with me, you're always going to get professional photos. I always hire a photographer to come in and do it because, as you can tell from what you just saw, I don't do great photos. If you're not working with me, I implore you, tell your agent that you want them to do that. Good agents will do it already. Some will try and skimp out and go, oh, well, I take pretty good photos with my phone. It's not even close to the same thing. They're not presenting your home in the best light. If you're gonna list something yourself, it's an interesting market to try and do that. Pony up a couple $100 and hire a pro. They're gonna make your house look so much better than you will, even if you think you're a qualified photographer. Unless you're a pro, leave it to the pros. I hope Chris's tips were helpful in the couple things that he suggested that you do to get your home ready for photographs. That can make a big difference. You know, if somebody forgets or just doesn't have time to get the dishes out of the sink, or forgets it's trash day and they've got the trash can sitting outside, or a car parked in front of the house, those things really make a difference when you're putting those photos together. So I wish you the best of luck, and as always, until next time, I'll see you around town.